Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
I'm comfortable.
So am I. I like standing.
I'm about to be more comfortable with the addition of whiskey. What do we have?
That's right. Well, this is actually 2 people donated this, but we're not going to benevolent saint them because we got to it at the same time.
Oh,
right?
It's a photo finish.
Yeah, it's a photo finish. Now, one of them is Terrence Englert. Terrence Englert, you magnificent bastard. And the other is a patron saint, Brian Dickerson.
Now hold on, wait. I need multiple, I need accoutrement here. Wait, no, I got this. I'm gonna get a coin, a tribe coin, I got a glass. Well, name?
You ready? Brian Dickerson, patron saint of whiskey.
Brian Dickerson,
you patron saint of whiskey. Oh no, I got a double bounce. This
clutch move that was.
We are about to become experts on newmake flavor profiles. It's just growing and growing. I've got another one for later this week.
Okay, all right.
Right?
You know what? I'm not super opposed to that because in recent weeks I've had some really just standalone as they come out of the bottle, nice new makes.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, this one is one that, we heard about, read about, and talked about, and it was sort of our joke for our distillery, and then they did it.
Right.
Pabst. So Pabst worked with New Holland Brewing Company to distill a new make spirit.
Are you talking about the technically bourbon?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what they did?
Yeah.
Because I guess we could still do it.
No, we're definitely going to do it.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna basically have something that legally meets the requirements of bourbon, but it's really new make that was in a barrel for like an hour.
The funny thing about this
is call it technically bourbon.
Yeah.
As a nod at how silly the guidelines are when it comes to that category.
The funny thing about this is the messaging when the article was written about him in Esquire was like, you guys don't quite understand what happened. And even Matt Bruin, the general manager at Pabst, this is a cool idea, right?
Right.
And Jacob Best, the founder of Pabst, evidently had a still and made
this the same
whiskey.
Pabst from Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Yes.
Also like the beer company?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Huh.
In theory, that's musty, funky, and it
is, but there's also like a sugary sweetness for sure.
It's 52% corn, 27 barley, 17 wheat, 4 rye. So it's a 4-grain new make.
Yeah. It's nice.
They aged it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that they could call it whiskey.
Yeah.
There is a, what am I looking for here?
I'm getting I think it's like is that a cinnamon?
No, there's a round.
There's some type of baking spice.
It's not melon, it is.
I'm getting like was that a rye bread? Some type of dark bread.
Imagine if you combined a super raspberry cherry note with grapefruit.
Oh, hold on.
And then had it be overripe.
Now the grapefruit, that's inspired. Grapefruit, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Grapefruit and then like some old dusty wood. And I know there's no wood in here, which is weird, like 5 minutes worth of wood.
Yeah, well, because it smells slightly musty. That's the corn, I think.
Sometimes 5 minutes worth of wood is all it takes.
Your marriage must be awesome.
But do you get...
No, I think it's the corn dust.
I
think it's the corn note.
Dust.
Yeah, because it's 52% corn.
Yeah.
If they had aged, actually, technically this is bourbon if it was new oak, but I doubt it was new oak, right? Mm. So they could make this a bourbon if they used new oak every time. Oh, it's beer-like. That's weird. It still has that sweetness, but there's no sugar. And it's really simple.
What? No, but there's like this spicy
layer. But what is it though?
And I was saying maybe like a dark bready kind of spice, maybe like a baking spice.
Maybe.
There's something in there. The grapefruit for me is mostly showing up on the nose.
Yeah, no.
I'm not getting citrus on the taste.
The palate and the nose are vastly different animals.
Yeah. But that dusty corn on the nose, I'm going to go hunting for on the taste here.
Yeah, I get the dusty note more than I get.
And then I think it becomes somewhat of a simple, fruity, almost a jam, not quite there.
The thing you were talking about being a cinnamon thing, I think actually shows up a little bit as like more? Real cinnamon, not sugar cinnamon. That's sort of like when we ate that cinnamon in a spoon and it sort of burned and it was dry, super dry. Yeah, like that. That was terrible.
It was so good.
Okay, so here's the funny thing. So I'm reading the article where they interviewed Matt Braun. You're going to appreciate this.
Is this the distiller?
Yeah. No, he's the general manager of Pabst.
Okay.
Right? And so he's not really lived in the whiskey world before.
Okay.
All right, maybe not. Maybe he has, but he didn't sound like it from the interview. Yeah. The interview sub-headline on Esquire said, Pabst outwitted the government's liquor laws to create a whiskey that's literally aged for 5 seconds. It's like, it's an author really reaching for drama where there's no drama.
Yeah, I don't know. I would chalk that up to lack of experience from the writer.
But here's the problem.
Did he lean into it?
No, I would have said the same thing, except in the interview with Matt Braun, he tells the guy
was he stoking that flame?
It was TTB that told him he could do it.
Oh.
So even the writer,
so the entire premise
in his own notes, eliminates that premise in the interview, but then still uses it. That's lazy reporting. But essentially what Matt did was he called him, he's like, we think this is whiskey, and we wanted to call it whiskey. And I called TTB, and they're like, well, you can't call it whiskey unless you age it. It says, how long do I have to age it? And they said, there is no minimum time requirement for that.
Did he mention why they were so concerned about them being able to call it whiskey? Like, well, we think this is whiskey because the difference between new make and aged whiskey. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of evolution with those flavors. We're in new make right now.
Yeah, but...
And I know, like, you can technically get the categorization in the label, blah, 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 but
it's not about that. It's historical.
Okay.
So he's saying, like, back in the day when farmers were using stills in the 1800s, it wasn't very often... There was a lot of new make going around.
Oh, sorry.
There was a lot of...
Big feet.
Yeah. There was a lot of new make.
5 minutes is all it takes, Daniel.
Jesus. There was a lot of new make going around, right?
Yeah.
Unless you were buying the aged stuff from the big brands or from the small mom. But there was a lot of like stills, new make, and people sort of considered that whiskey too.
Sure.
Like, give me some whiskey. Well, that's grain spirit.
Yeah.
Right? Now, moonshine is technically the name for illegal new make spirit or any illegal spirit. So they're saying back when Jacob Best, the founder of Pabst in Milwaukee, had a still and was making new make stuff, he considered that to be making whiskey. And so we wanted to call ours whiskey because we're making whiskey too.
Sure.
That's all.
Okay.
And so when he called TTB, they were like, well, there's no minimum.
Right.
And they're like, oh, okay, we'll do it for 5 seconds.
Gotcha.
And
I fooled you.
I busted. And they're like, what do you mean? Everyone knows this.
Everybody knows that. In terms of new make, I think it's nicer than your average new make if you're just going to consume this as is.
I got a weird chocolate note all of a sudden. Try it again.
There's a lot of new makes that, it is what it is, but it's designed to be aged over time.
Malt ball.
Huh?
Malt ball. You know the what's the little black
malt balls? Yeah.
Malt balls. It's the cream. What's the name of those things?
It's not cream.
No, like a cream box. With malt ball with a
malt balls.
No, there's a name of that company. But you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Malt chocolate. Malt balls and chocolate.
You're not wrong. Clint Bauman. Anyone else concerned Rex and Daniel don't look at each other during anymore? Wait a minute. He just said look at each other during
the episode.
But he didn't specify that.
That's true.
He just left it up to this vague during
what?
Why don't you look at me
5 minutes.
How you doing? How you been?
I'm good. How you doing?
You good? Right here?
Yeah. That's so uncomfortable.
Right there?
I can feel it.
You can feel me looking
on my
at you?
shoulders. Yeah.
Feel me looking at you so good?
Oh yeah.
Looking at you so good right now.
Dude, I just got goosebumps all at both arms.
Both eyes.
I feel so uncomfortable.
I'm not blinking either.
I know.
I'm just looking so hard.
I can tell.
I'm gonna stare at you so hard.
Dude, I saw, because of this whole tiger thing, I saw this documentary that said, you know that on the tiger's ears they have white circles?
Okay.
It's because from behind it looks like another set of eyes.
Oh, so they can't get ambushed.
Right.
Oh.
And then someone said, I don't care about nature's camouflage. I'm all of a sudden terrified as shit over what a tiger thinks is a predator. Like, what the heck is that thing?
We got Tom McCafferty. You two practice antisocial distancing.
Yeah, I like that.
Stare at you so good. Vagabond Wastrel. For the smoking onesie.
Oh, I want this.
Just have the text Whiskey Tribe on the front and don't ask too many questions on the back.
Come on, that would be great, right? Just don't ask too many questions.
Just don't. It's better if you
just don't ask too many questions. Why are you wearing a what?
Is this a cult? Don't.
Why do you? Where's the onesie for the? Dude, I'm kind of enjoying trying the various new makes. We've got one coming up on Friday.
Yeah, it is a new angle on whiskey, right? Because there's enough there that feels familiar,
right?
But the unaged side of things. Before, I was like, well, it's going to get better after it goes through some barrels. And to be fair, more often than not, that's the case with new make. It gets better. But we've had enough new makes that, again, out of the bottle, neat pours, really, really nice.
Yeah.
This one, I think, is better than average as far as new makes go.
Maybe we should start intentionally releasing like new make peated malt as a thing.
Oh, peated? That's a different animal, though.
I know.
Hold on, like a peated in and of itself. I don't. I'm gonna have to get a lot of pours to explore.
Well, we'll proof it down
and research
into the right proof
and compare for the people. Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
Steal me, you steal your lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.